Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today I'm going to be showing you how I do my eyebrows. So my eyebrows are terrible. My natural eyebrows are not cute at all. I've definitely done the over tweezing when I was in middle school. If you're like me and you have to constantly fill in your eyebrows to make them look good so you can go out in public, then this is going to be the video for you. So today I'm going to be showing you two brow techniques. Not four, just two. I'm going to be showing you the technique that I've been doing for, God, I don't even know how many years. I do have an old brow tutorial on my channel. It's like 2 or 3 years old, but the products that I use have changed since then, so I want to show you kind of an updated version of what I'm using. Also, I'm going to be showing you guys a new technique that I recently just learned like 2 or 3 days ago that I've been totally obsessed with. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about because I have just been posting pictures of my eyebrows a lot lately and just raving about them because I just love the way they look. It's crazy. So this is the more natural, newer technique that I've tried, and yeah, I'm obsessed, and hopefully you guys will be obsessed too. So if you guys want to see the two techniques that I do on my eyebrows, then just keep on watching and we're just going to jump right in and I'm going to show you how to get some good brows. So the products that I have been using for my brows for the past like year or 2 years have been from Benefit. I use Eyebrow and this is in the shade number 4. I love this stuff. It's a pomade, so it is a creamy texture. It has a built-in brush. Now, even though I don't always use the brush that comes built in with this, it is really convenient if you're traveling, so you already have your brush built in. I also like to set my brows with powder because that's really going to ensure that your brows stay on all day. So the ones that I like to use are the Foolproof Brow Powders. So I have here the shade number 3 and number 5, and these are really nice because they have 2 different powders in one. So right here I have shade number 3 and then this is shade number 5, and you guys can see that for the front of the brow it has a lighter color and then the tail of the brow has a little bit of darker color, so that way you guys can get that really nice ombre brow look. I always like to go in with the Gimme Brow. This is in the shade number 5. This is really great because it is so tiny. It has a nice small compact little spoolie. It does give you that thicker brow look, so it really coats each and every one of your little brow hairs and it makes them appear thicker, which is what I really need because my brows are super thin. And then I like to go ahead and set my brows with the 24-hour brow setter. This is really nice because it really just keeps your brow hairs in place. It's perfect. It has a nice little applicator. So that is what I like to use for my first brow technique. So I'm just going to jump right in and start on that. I'm just going to show you guys on one brow and then you guys can see the comparison of my other brow. The first thing that I like to do is to brush out my brows. So I'm just going to be using this Anastasia number 7 brush. I've had this brush forever and it really is like the best brush that I have found to use for my brows. So that's what I like to use. So I'm just going to be brushing my hairs up, and then I like to take my little tail down on this side. So going in with the Eyebrow, again this is in shade number 4. I'm just going to take the tiniest bit because a little bit does go a long way. As you guys can see, I have over tweezed a lot right here. So I like where my brow is, like the bottom of my brow in the front. I like where that's at, so I want to match that. So I'm going to start right in this area right here so that I can get that even. You definitely don't want to start too close here because you have all the product on your brush right now. If you start in this area, it's going to create a really harsh line and it's going to make it harder to blend out. And as you guys can see, I don't have too much product, so I'm just going to start in this area and I'm just going to underline my brow. If you do feel like you need more product, add a little bit more because it's always better to have less in the beginning and add more when you need it. And as you go, you can brush out the product. Okay, so once I have the base, so you guys can see it kind of lines up there, I'm going to go ahead and start working on the tail. So I'm just going to go at the very top right here where my arch would be. And I'm going to create my tail. And I'm going to be kind of slanting my brush a little bit so that way I can get the product on there, but very lightly. So I'm just angling it like this instead of being up like this and making harsh lines. I'm taking it like this, and I'm following my natural brow shape. I'm not doing too much to change it. We're just going to start bringing it forward. So I'm almost like stamping it into my eyebrow. So once I feel like I have like a good, pretty good shape, then I'm going to go ahead and start working on the top. And I'm not adding any more product. I'm just going right on top. Now I'm going to go in and start to bring it in a little bit further, but just very, very lightly. What I like to do in this front area right here is I like to just flick this up with my brush pressed up against my brow. And I just like to go up. Some people will go like this and create those little hair strokes. I personally don't think that that looks natural. As much as people want to say create hair-like strokes, it just doesn't do that for me. So I just like to press it up against my brow and just go up. Now I'm going to go in with the powder. I'm going to be using the shade number 3 today. So I like to use this brush. This brush I got from Morphe like a few years ago. It doesn't have a number. I have no idea. I'm sure that you can find any other little angled brush like this. So I'm just going to be taking the lighter side and just dipping my brush into that. And again, I don't like to start in the front because it's just a really key, important tip that I would say is to never apply product directly to the very front of your eyebrow. Trust me, it's just going to look a lot better if you don't put very much product on there at all. It just creates more of that natural look. You don't want really boxy, blocky brows. I've definitely gone through that phase before and it's not cute, so I'm telling you as a friend, don't do that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start again right in this area, just a little bit further from the front, and I'm just gonna be applying the product, just very lightly brushing it up into my brows. And then I'm just gonna be going in with the darker side and really focusing that on the tail. And then I like to brush it all out so it gets nice and blended together. Then we're going to go in with the Gimme Brow. So you could definitely just use the 24-hour brow setter if you wanted to, but since my brow hairs are so thin, I do like to add a little bit of thickness anytime that I can. So going in with the Gimme Brow, I do like to wipe off the little spoolie because sometimes it has too much product. You could very easily ruin your eyebrows, especially if you start in the front. Again, like I said, I recommend not doing that because if you have too much product on here, it's going to create a nice big brown mark and then it's going to be hard to blend it out. So I like to start again in the middle. See, did you guys see that? I'm telling you, if I would have done it in the front, it would have been hard to blend out and it would have just been a mess. So just brushing this into my brow hairs, and then once I feel like I don't have too much product, then I can start brushing it up in the front. And then I'll finish it off with the 24-hour brow setter. Just going to be taking some concealer. This is just from like an Anastasia palette. I'm taking this little brush. This is from e.l.f. and it is the professional concealer brush. It is a very tiny little thing, and I'm just going to go right underneath my eyebrow. So that is the finished brow. You guys can see it's a huge difference from my natural brows. Now I'm going to be moving on to the new brow technique that I have been doing for the past couple days that I'm obsessed with. And so I'm going to be removing this brow because I do want to keep this one bare. So you can use any it's not a brow soap, any bar soap that you have, and it is, I'm telling you, it might sound really weird, but it's going to look amazing, and you guys are going to see, okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my little spoolie right here, and I'm going to be wetting it. You don't want it soaked, so I just like to tap it off. So once I do that, then I'm just going to be taking my little bar soap, and I'm going to be running this little spoolie on the bar soap. So you guys can see I just got some soap on there. All I'm going to be doing is taking my little spoolie and I'm going to be brushing my hairs up. So for a minute here, I'm going to look crazy. When I have been doing my brows like this, I have been doing my brows first. So I would recommend this just because if you are brushing your brows up like this, you don't want to be taking off like your foundation and stuff. So I would recommend doing that. So you guys can see my brow hair is really sticking to my face. So I think that's where like the waxy consistency of the bar soap is really going to help. So what I'm going to do is leaving this up, and then since this is a little too furry for me, I'm just going to slightly start going like this to the side. And I don't want to take this down all the way, but you guys can see I'm just creating a little brow shape. So I still want these out, but I want to keep them up for the most part. A little bit of this brow pencil. This is the Precisely My Brow Pencil from Benefit, and it is in the shade number 6. I'm just going to take this in the direction that my brow hairs are brushed. And just the slightest bit in the front. You guys can see the difference so far. So everything is nice and brushed up, which is what I like. So going in with the number 5 Foolproof Brow Powder, I am taking my Anastasia brush right here, and I'm going to be going in with the lighter shade first. So I am going to be going in and just going right up. Again, all in the same direction as the brow hairs. And then you can go in with the darker side. And I am going to go in right at the bottom of my brow and create a little bit of a base. Just a little bit on the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean up the brow. And I'm just going to go right underneath the brow. Just clean this up. Now we're going to go in with the little Gimme brow. We're going to create more thickness to these brow hairs. Just going to bring everything again going in that upward motion. 24-hour brow setter. I'm going to finish off these brows. Really make our brow hairs stay in place. So that is the finished brow with the new brow technique that I've been doing that I am so in love with. So I went ahead and did my other brow off camera just so I didn't look crazy with one eyebrow. So I really hope that this video helped you in some way. I know that eyebrows are such a big thing now. It is always a struggle trying to get your eyebrows to look perfect. With good products and a little bit of practice, you can definitely achieve the brows that you want, and hopefully this tutorial helps you do so. So if you guys do like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you aren't already subscribed. And if you aren't following me on Instagram, please make sure you head over there and follow me on there. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.